some new information about that ID card you brought back. I'll give you the details on the bridge.
His name is Neil. Neil Vanna.
Neil Vanna? Oh, here I thought he said Nirvana. There must still be tar in my ears.
It seems that the ID card you brought back belonged to the man himself. Charlie helped me dig up the details.
The card was issued by Bridges years ago, when the chiral network was still being developed. Records confirm that Vanna has been dead for some time.
So he was a member of Bridges?
No, it doesn't look like he was.
Vanna was a porter contracted by Bridges to handle jobs with special requirements. Like all of you, he was a doom sufferer who leveraged his abilities.
A top-notch porter by all accounts. He worked the Mexican border. Brought over all kinds of useful stuff.
Ostensibly, resources and medical supplies. But in truth, he transported drugs and other prohibited goods.
So he was a smuggler.
Vanna's ID card served as a key to some of Bridges' secure installations, though only a select few, of course. Specifically, those dedicated to the BB experiments, along with various other medical facilities.
I believe that the place you went to for counseling was one of them.
But everything in that area was obliterated 11 years ago by a void out, one in which Neil Vanna died. And from which you alone, Sam, were fortunate enough to emerge alive. Prior to all that, your counseling sessions made you a regular visitor, yes? Well, records indicate Vanna frequented the same facility. There's a fair chance that the two of you might have met before. Do you recall seeing him?
It's hardly surprising. A great number of people pass through there all the damn time. No one would remember them all.
Sam, it's Charlie. We've received your next assignment. This main order can be undertaken by accessing the delivery terminal at East Fort Knott. While you attend to that, we'll continue our investigation into Neil Vanna. I'll keep you posted.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Looking clean as a whistle.
I feel as though I've seen those glasses before. Neil Vanna. A porter employed by Bridges. A man not unlike yourself, it would seem. But why did he appear in that so-called Nirvana? Or rather, that realm of the dead? And then there's the fact that he clearly spoke Lou's name. If we have another opportunity to visit that mysterious realm, then perhaps we can get some answers. Sam, is that Horizon Dreamer I spy in your music collection? That's one of Daiichi Miura's best songs. I'd love to hear it again, to listen and remember my family. That place we were sent to, the land of the dead, it strikes me as odd that it was submerged underwater. And did you see those columns of ice, the ones descending from the surface all the way to the floor? Afterwards, I realized what they reminded me of. The columns were reminiscent of a phenomenon known as brinicles. When seawater freezes and turns to ice, salt concentrates are released into the surrounding water. This brine is heavier than the water around it due to its higher density. It therefore sinks deeper into the ocean. As it flows towards the ocean floor, its lower temperature results in the formation of ice. And as this process continues, it can produce column-like ice structures. Any living creatures unfortunate enough to become entangled in these can be frozen solid. Little wonder they're called icicles of death. The times we've encountered Nirvana, the first was amidst flames, and the second was in what seemed to be flood-ravaged ruins. Now, I believe that you were previously transported to a realm not unlike a battlefield. The places we found ourselves in are similar in that they were the sites of disasters. This is just a theory, but it could be the case that what we've seen is a reflection of Neil's mental state. He may have been a first-hand witness to a terrible tragedy which left a lasting mark on him. Pizza do karate. Huh. Maybe I should give it a try too. It'd be great if someone could show me how it's done. Maybe I could learn through VR training? Maybe we could call it Taekwondo. Tell you what, you can be my very first student. Sam, when I saw that coffin, I was reminded of a rather unorthodox type of psychotherapy. The patient lies down inside a coffin, which is then closed, plunging them into darkness. In being subjected to this simulated experience of being laid to rest, they may find a measure of peace and comfort. If you spot a coffin that seems suitable for this, why not climb inside and see what happens?
Thank you, Sam.
It's no trouble at all. It's okay. It's all right.
Oh boy. I really miss the taste of food. Did you manage to take a good photo? Apropos of nothing, each time we take the DHV Magellan into the currents, the level of tar pollution on board increases. Which is why everyone has to pitch in to clean the ship after every trip. In spite of that, we still find ourselves stymied by nasty blockages like this one. Tarman broke 3 mops attempting to dislodge a particularly stubborn wad before throwing up his hands in despair. Although he failed in that epic struggle, I can only respect his dedication. Apropos of nothing, the doctor's talents were a sight to behold. A psychic midwife. I've never had the opportunity to watch one at work before. How many children has she held in those hands of hers, I wonder? I expect she knows a great deal about BB units as well. Ah, yes. I spoke with Rainey earlier. She tells me Tomorrow's making excellent progress with her studies. Before we left to see the Motherhood, she was tackling and solving relatively elementary problems. But it seems she's since progressed to intermediate and higher level ones. At this rate, she might well surpass our own capabilities before long. To learn is to grow, and to watch her grow so quickly has been a delight. Do you have a moment, Sam?
足元に散らばる言葉拾い集めて今日も日が暮れる
You know, Sam, I was just thinking. So that was the esteemed data scientist. It didn't take much convincing to become a part of the chiral network after all, did they? I suppose the appeal of APAS's analytical capabilities was too much to ignore. And they must be quite the fan of pizza, too. The considerable weight of our last delivery did not escape my notice. Just how many pizzas do you think the chef was able to pack into that container? Huh. A suit that prevents its wearer from being recognized by AI cameras. Eyes are the most prominent sensory organ of many life forms. Those of us who specialize in psychology often learn a great deal about them. You see, what the eye and the camera perceive is compared against past experiences and data to yield a conclusion. Perhaps this suit exploits a flaw in how AI cameras perform this function. Which is to say, you shouldn't presume you won't show up on these cameras. But I think it may utilize a form of optical jamming to obfuscate your appearance. In this way, it ensures the system doesn't interpret you as an intruder. Sam, about the hot springs. We should go out and try to dig a new one. They can soothe aches and pains, improve circulation, and depending on the mineral content, confer all kinds of other benefits. But more than that, it simply feels good to soak and relax. You should never miss a chance to take a dip. The best time to avail yourself of a hot spring is 8 or so in the evening. Call it a doll's intuition. Ah, yes. I see that the armed survivalists have gotten their hands on a new assortment of weapons. And our own arsenal has since been expanded, courtesy of the pizza chef. People seem less and less inclined to give others the benefit of the doubt these days. I fear it's going to continue to get harder to earn the trust of strangers in the future. Come to think of it, I was surprised by how effectively Tamara was able to fight those mechs. The way she took advantage of the tar and used her unique abilities against them, it demonstrated impressive improvisational skills. But her capacity to rapidly accelerate the age of any material or enemy she comes into contact with. Oh, I can't help but be a little jealous. But there are other ways I can contribute to your work, and I hope to continue doing so. Ah, yes. That friend of the dowser we rescued was a very brave man, don't you think? To go to such a dangerous place all by himself, in spite of the countless potential risks. Perhaps it would have been better if he wasn't quite so brave. Apropos of nothing, the armed survivalists don't seem concerned in the least about causing people's deaths. It's unconscionable, terrifying too. Man, the thought alone's enough to make me feel sick. Sam, none of us can go through catastrophic trauma without being forever scarred by the experience. Trying to reclaim a sense of normalcy through routine can help the heart to heal. Your deliveries are making a big difference, Sam. For others and for yourself. Apropos of nothing, necrobiotes are fascinating. And they seem to have become more commonplace lately as well. Ever since you and I were swallowed up by that tar fall, to be specific. This sudden increase in the population should be considered yet another example of an environmental anomaly. If we successfully extend the network across the continent and trigger a plate gate to appear, such anomalies should begin to wane. Apropos of nothing, so Samson Hook from the F2 South Distribution Center is not a man to be trifled with, no sir. I did some research, and I found he's a popular local figure, beloved by one and all, it seems. Known as the Golden Fist as well. But don't misunderstand. I'd wager the people's love for him is not rooted solely in his considerable martial prowess. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. You've been receiving more dangerous orders. I respect your willingness to undertake them without any fuss. Please, don't hesitate to rely on me for assistance if you ever find yourself in need of it. While I'm incapable of fighting like you, if you throw me toward your enemies, I can keep them distracted, for a short while at least. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. The brigands' vehicles are of a rather antiquated design, significantly different from the standard pickup off-roader. You won't be able to get them repaired at distribution centers or on the DHV Magellan. Can't even store them in a garage. They're enemy property, after all. Too risky to bring inside our facilities. Could be booby-trapped. I'd not get into the habit of using them too often if I were you. You know, Sam, I was just thinking. I was looking into the conditions that led to the bushfire we escaped. It seemed to have been caused by a phenomenon known as chiral cinders. Unlike other items washed up by the currents, cinders violently erupt from the tar and soar through the sky before crashing to the ground. This phenomenon has been observed across the continent and has led to an increase in bushfires. It's one more potential threat to keep an eye out for. Come to think of it, ever wanted to learn more about the various creatures housed at the animal shelter, Sam? Well, there's a speaker outside the facility that they use to broadcast updates. Might be good to check in on some of the animals we've taken there once in a while. Apropos of nothing, I'm so glad that we were able to save that kangaroo's life. It's easy to forget that humans aren't the only creatures affected by the Death Stranding. Protecting our remaining wildlife isn't just the right thing to do. It can also help us to better understand how the environment has changed. Sam, the kangaroo you rescued is currently being cared for and studied at the animal shelter. You know, if you ever want to stop by and see how it's doing, I wouldn't object. Sam, are you curious how I maintain my youthful appearance? It's because Rainey lets me shower in her core fall from time to time. Come to think of it, Rainey used to be much more quiet and withdrawn. She seemed averse to spending time with people, dolls too. It was singing and dancing that got her to open up. I'm something of a performer myself, though I've never showed anyone. Come to think of it, the Rainbow Valley greenhouses are the product of our researchers' hard work. And thanks to you and me, those invaluable structures will endure for a good while yet. Apropos of nothing, there are organisms in this area that I don't believe I've ever laid eyes on before. My understanding is that they're called chiral creatures, and they come in all shapes and sizes. Apparently, they will drain your batteries if you come into contact with them. There may be other deleterious effects for all we know. And really, you shouldn't be bothering them anyway. There's nothing to be gained from it. It's not like they drop coins when defeated. Sam, you know, I've been thinking about what happened to Lou. Fragile holds herself personally responsible for those tragic events. If Higgs was indeed behind the attack, then I can understand why she feels that way. Why she blames herself for setting everything in motion. But she's resolved not to let any of it show. To bottle it up and put on a brave face. She didn't used to smoke before, did she? I suspect it's a form of self-punishment she's adopted. Vengeance gives rise to a cycle of violence, and Higgs wouldn't have it any other way. But she's committed to helping you complete this journey, together with Lou, to get you back on your feet. And if she believes she has to bury her emotions and play the part of a hard-nosed commander to do that, she will. That's what I think, anyway. I'm sure you can understand her position. Come to think of it, apparently you can create your own custom... if you have... Ah, yes. Those wandering BTs we encountered, I believe people call them Watchers. A fitting name given their behavior. The way they seem to be eyeing us with such disconcerting intensity. Oof. They can't see everything, though. No, they've definitely got some blind spots. Meaning, you might be able to avoid combat by evading detection and sneaking past unnoticed. I don't really have anything else to say right now.